Now it came to pass in the days of King Ahasuerus, who ruled from India to Ethiopia over 127 provinces, that a decree was set forth, one that would shake the hearts of a people. From the royal court echoed a command that every Jew from the least to the greatest should be destroyed. And yet within the palace gates, unaware to many but known to heaven, was a woman chosen, not by man, but by the divine hand. Her name was Esther. She did not come with power. She did not come with a name. She was not born of noble blood, but she was born for destiny. Esther was a young Jewish woman, an orphan raised by her cousin Mordecai. She lived in the shadows of the empire, but her life was never hidden from God. When Queen Vashti was removed from the throne, the king sought a new queen, and from every province, young women were brought forth, bathed in perfume, and prepared for a year. Yet among them, Esther stood apart. She asked for nothing, but received everything. For the hand of God was upon her. She found favor in the eyes of Haggai, the eunuch in charge. She found favor in the eyes of those who looked upon her, and she found favor in the sight of the king himself. The crown was placed on her head. She became queen, but not just of Persia. She became the vessel through whom God would deliver a nation. Yet not long after her ascension, a man named Haman arose, second in command, but first in wickedness. He burned with hatred, not just for Mordecai, who would not bow, but for all of God's people. And with deceitful words, he tricked the king into signing a decree of death. The day was chosen, the plan was sealed, and across the empire, fear spread like fire. Mordecai tore his garments, wept in the streets, and Esther, hearing of his distress, sent word. He told her the truth. "You must go before the king. You must speak." But Esther hesitated. "If I go without being summoned, I could die," she said. And that fear was real, for in that time, to enter the king's inner court uninvited meant death, unless he extended the golden scepter. But Mordecai sent word back and said, "Do not think that because you are in the palace, you alone will escape. If you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. And who knows if you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" Those words struck like thunder in Esther's spirit. She rose with resolve and replied, "Gather all the Jews in Susa. Fast for me for 3 days. I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." And on the third day, clothed in royal robes, Esther stood in the inner court. The king saw her, and she found favor once more. He extended the golden scepter. He said, "What is it, Queen Esther? Even up to half the kingdom, it shall be given to you." But Esther, with wisdom and strategy, did not rush her request. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet. Then again, a second time. And on the second day, as wine flowed and hearts were opened, Esther spoke. "O king, if I have found favor in your eyes, spare my life and the lives of my people. For we have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." The king, shocked, demanded to know, "Who is the man who dared do this?" And Esther said, "The adversary and enemy is this vile Haman." And Haman trembled before the king and the queen. By nightfall, the gallows he built for Mordecai were used for his own destruction. The king reversed the decree. Mordecai was honored, and the people of God rejoiced. What was meant for death became a day of deliverance, and Esther's name was sealed in eternity as a woman of courage, faith, and divine purpose. So hear this now. You may not wear a crown, you may not live in a palace, but you are called, you are chosen, and you are positioned by God for such a time as this. When fear surrounds you, fast. When decisions weigh heavy, pray. When the moment comes, speak. Because the same God who raised up Esther has raised up you. Arise, be bold, be faithful, for heaven knows your name.